Welcome back to the Echoes of Ihsan podcast. Today we're going on a journey to explore the wisdom of Imam al-Ghazali's The Secrets of Pilgrimage.
Ah, al-Ghazali, a giant, a towering figure in Islamic thought.
Hmm.
And, even centuries later,
Right.
his writings, they continue to just resonate
Yeah.
with those seeking spiritual truth.
Absolutely. And I'm really drawn to this work because it dives into
Hmm.
the deeper meaning of Hajj.
Right.
The pilgrimage to Mecca,
Yeah.
beyond the crowds and the logistics.
Yeah.
What does it truly mean to embark on this sacred journey?
That's the exact question
Right.
al-Ghazali tackles in this book.
Okay.
And the answer lies in this idea of heart purification.
Heart purification.
Yes.
It sounds so simple.
It does.
But I feel like there's layers of meaning there.
Right.
I think before we even touch on the specifics of Hajj rituals,
Okay.
it's important to unpack this idea first.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, al-Ghazali wasn't just concerned with the outward rituals. He really believed that true transformation, true fulfillment in religious acts
Yeah.
hinges on the state of one's heart.
So it's not enough to just go through the motions.
Exactly. Imagine a pilgrim who, meticulously performs every step of the Hajj,
Right.
but their heart is filled with arrogance or envy or a desire to just show off.
Right.
For al-Ghazali,
Yeah.
that type of pilgrimage would be devoid of true meaning.
That reminds me of the story he tells
Yeah.
about the man who returned from Hajj and was boasting about
Right.
completing all the stages of the journey,
Yeah.
but hadn't addressed any of his inner flaws.
Right. Exactly.
It's a powerful reminder that the real journey is an inward one.
Absolutely. The Hajj for al-Ghazali is a mirror reflecting the state of our souls.
Okay.
It's an opportunity to confront our inner demons,
Okay.
to purify our intentions,
Yeah.
and to really emerge transformed.
It's interesting you mentioned inner demons.
Yeah.
Because al-Ghazali specifically calls out negative qualities.
Yes.
Like hypocrisy, ostentation, envy
Yes.
as obstacles to
Okay.
this heart purification.
true.
And these are things that we all struggle with,
Yes.
regardless of whether we're going on a pilgrimage or not.
That's the beauty of his work. It's timeless relevance. He's
Yeah.
speaking to the human condition.
Yeah.
The universal struggle to overcome our baser instincts
Yeah.
and strive for that spiritual excellence.
So how does al-Ghazali suggest we go about this heart purification?
Right.
Does he give us
Yeah,
specific techniques or practices?
He does, and it's fascinating how he connects this inner work to the outward acts of worship
Okay.
that are central to Islam. And he analyzes everyday practices like prayer, charity, and fasting, and
Yeah.
reveals how they can be powerful tools for spiritual refinement.
It makes sense. It's like you're laying the groundwork for a meaningful Hajj experience
Exactly.
by cultivating this awareness and intention
Yeah.
in our daily lives first.
Exactly. He wants us to understand that every action, even seemingly mundane ones, can be imbued with spiritual significance
Okay, right.
when performed with a pure heart and the right intention.
So let's delve into some of these everyday practices.
Okay.
Let's start with prayer, one of the 5 pillars of Islam.
Yeah.
How does al-Ghazali approach this fundamental act of worship?
He compares it to a slave
Cool.
presenting themselves before a king.
Okay.
You wouldn't just mumble anything in the
Right.
presence of royalty, would you?
Right. Yeah.
You'd be attentive,
Yeah.
respectful, acutely aware of the king's presence.
That's such a vivid analogy.
Yeah.
And he's saying we should approach prayer with that same level of reverence,
Absolutely.
that same awareness of standing before God.
Absolutely. He speaks about 6 inner realities that are essential for a truly transformative prayer experience.
6 inner realities.
Yes.
Wow. That's
It's a lot to unpack.
quite a lot to unpack.
Yes.
But it highlights how prayer for al-Ghazali
Yes.
is so much more than just reciting words. It's a journey of the heart, a
Absolutely.
pathway to spiritual ascent.
Exactly. And these 6 realities aren't just emotions.
Okay.
He describes them as gateways to a deeper connection with the divine.
So understanding would involve comprehending the meaning of the words we're reciting,
Yes.
and magnification would involve contemplating the greatness
Exactly.
and majesty of God.
Precisely. Awe encompasses that sense of wonder and humility
Right.
in the face of the divine, while hope represents our longing for his mercy and closeness.
And presence, that sounds like the real challenge
It is.
in our distracted world.
Presence involves banishing all those worldly thoughts
Right.
and focusing solely on the act of prayer, on communing with God. It's about cultivating a state of mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
of being fully present in the moment.
And shamefacedness, I imagine, that would involve recognizing our shortcomings
You got it.
and standing before God with a sense of humility
Yeah.
and repentance.
It's about acknowledging our human fallibility
Right.
and seeking forgiveness for our transgressions.
So each of these inner realities plays a crucial role
It does.
in transforming prayer from a mere ritual into a transformative
Yes,
spiritual experience.
absolutely.
It's fascinating how al-Ghazali connects these inner states to the outward act of prayer.
Yes,
It's like he's saying that one
they're intertwined.
can't exist without the other.
Yes, and this intricate connection between the inner and the outer
Yeah.
extends to charity,
Mhm.
or zakat as well.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Right.
Because when we think of giving charity,
Yeah.
we usually focus on the outward act,
Exactly.
the money or goods we're giving. But al-Ghazali goes deeper as always.
Always deep. Yeah. He emphasizes that true charity involves much more than just handing over wealth.
Right.
It's about purifying your intentions,
Okay.
ensuring that your giving is motivated by genuine compassion and a desire to please God.
Okay.
He outlines 5 crucial aspects
Okay.
to consider when giving zakat:
Yeah.
intention promptness,
Mm-hmm.
avoiding substitutes,
Okay.
not taking back what was given, and fairness in distribution.
Like a checklist.
Yes.
To ensure that our heart is in the right place
Exactly.
to give.
And I think avoiding any harm or humiliation to the recipient is a crucial part of that as well.
Yes. Absolutely.
Al-Ghazali is very specific about that.
Yeah.
He stresses treating the recipient with the utmost respect and dignity,
Oh, correct.
recognizing their inherent worth as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
It's a profound reminder that true charity is about more than just the transaction itself.
Right.
It's about recognizing that shared humanity that binds us all.
So it's not just about what we give, but how we give it.
Exactly.
It's about approaching the act of giving with humility
Yes.
and a genuine desire to alleviate suffering.
Precisely. And that brings us to fasting,
Okay.
another core practice in Islam.
Now, fasting is often associated with physical discipline,
Mm-hmm.
with abstaining from food and drink.
Right.
How does al-Ghazali connect this to heart purification?
He delves into the deeper spiritual dimensions of fasting,
Okay.
categorizing it into 3 grades.
Okay.
The elect and the grade of Sufis.
Okay.
The common grade is what most people associate with fasting,
Right.
the abstinence from food and drink.
Yeah.
But he argues that true fasting involves so much more than just physical deprivation. It's about cultivating an inner state of detachment from worldly desires.
So it's about restraining not just our appetites,
Exactly.
but also our thoughts and desires.
Your thoughts, your desires.
Okay.
He outlines 6 additional rules for those who aspire to the grade of the elect, focusing on controlling the senses and creating an inner sanctuary of remembrance of God.
So things like guarding our gaze,
Yes.
avoiding backbiting,
Exactly.
restraining our tongues from frivolous talk.
Precisely. He wants us to understand that true fasting involves creating an inner space free from distractions.
Okay.
A space where we can connect with God on a deeper level.
Okay.
And the grade of Sufis takes us even further,
Right.
emphasizing complete detachment from worldly desires and a focus on spiritual contemplation.
It sounds like al-Ghazali is showing us that even in these everyday acts of worship,
Yes.
there's a path to spiritual refinement.
Absolutely.
It's about pushing ourselves beyond the bare minimum,
Yes.
seeking that inner connection with God in everything we do.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And these 3 practices, prayer, charity, and fasting, they serve as a powerful foundation
Okay.
for understanding the deeper meaning behind the Hajj rituals themselves.
Yeah.
They're like preparatory steps,
Okay.
refining our intentions, aligning our hearts with the divine
Yeah.
before we embark on that physical journey to Mecca.
Okay. Now we're getting to the heart of the matter.
Yes.
But before we dive into the specifics of Hajj,
Okay.
I think it's important to pause here and reflect on what we've learned so far.
Okay.
It seems that for al-Ghazali, the essence of a true pilgrimage
Yeah.
lies not in the outward actions themselves, but in the inward transformation.
Exactly.
They're meant to facilitate.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
It's about purifying our hearts, refining our intentions, and cultivating that state of presence and awareness.
Okay.
And that's a journey we can all embark on, whether or not we ever have the opportunity to physically perform the Hajj.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've laid the groundwork with prayer, charity, and fasting, these pillars of practice that al-Ghazali sees as cultivating the right inner state.
Yes.
Now, how does he connect this to the actual Hajj rituals themselves?
Yeah. This is where it gets really fascinating.
Okay.
He dives deep like a spiritual archaeologist into each act of the Hajj, unearthing the symbolism and linking it back to heart purification.
It's like he's giving us a secret decoder ring for understanding the inner language of Hajj.
Yeah, take, for example, the tawaf, the circling of the Kaaba. It's not just a physical act of walking around a structure. Al-Ghazali explains it's about centering your life around God, making him the axis around which everything else revolves.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like turning a physical action into a cosmic dance.
And then there's the sa'i, the running between the hills of Safa and Marwa. On the surface, it might just seem like a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
But al-Ghazali connects it to Hagar, Prophet Ibrahim's wife, desperately searching for water for her son. It's about her perseverance, her trust in God, even in the face of extreme hardship.
And how does that link back to the heart purification we've been talking about?
It's about recognizing that the spiritual journey is rarely easy. There will be trials, moments of doubt, a sense of being lost. But like Hagar, we must keep searching, keep striving with unwavering faith in God's mercy.
So it's not just about the physical act of running.
Exactly.
It's about embodying that spirit of resilience and trust in the face of adversity.
And then we have the wuquf,
Okay.
the standing at Arafat, which is considered the pinnacle of Hajj.
Okay.
Al-Ghazali describes it as a rehearsal for the Day of Judgment.
Wow.
A moment to reflect on our lives, seek forgiveness for our sins, and make a firm commitment to live in accordance with God's will.
That's powerful. It's like taking stock of your spiritual inventory and making a conscious decision to align yourself with the divine.
And then there's the Rami, the throwing of pebbles at the Jamarat. This one, I think, can seem particularly strange.
I agree. I mean, throwing stones.
Yes.
What's the spiritual significance in that?
Well, al-Ghazali explains that it's about symbolically rejecting the temptations that lead us astray. Each pebble represents a devilish whisper, a negative thought or impulse that seeks to derail us from the path of righteousness. By throwing the pebbles, we're essentially declaring our commitment to resist those temptations and stay steadfast in our devotion to God.
It's fascinating how he transforms these seemingly mundane actions into powerful spiritual exercises.
And that's precisely what al-Ghazali does throughout the book. He takes each ritual, dissects it, analyzes it, and reveals its hidden depths. And through this process, he shows us that Hajj is not just a physical journey. It's a journey of the soul.
It's like he's peeling back the layers of an onion, revealing the deeper meaning and purpose behind each step. And the beauty is that these insights aren't limited to those physically performing Hajj. These are universal truths that we can all apply to our own lives, regardless of our faith or background.
For example, think about the concept of Ihram. The state of purity and simplicity that pilgrims enter into before performing Hajj. It involves wearing simple white garments, abstaining from certain actions, and focusing on spiritual matters. This idea of simplifying our lives, shedding the unnecessary, and focusing on what truly matters is something we can all benefit from.
It's like a detox, a cleansing, not just of the body, but of the mind and spirit.
And then there's the emphasis on unity and equality during Hajj.
Okay.
People from all walks of life, rich and poor, from every corner of the globe, come together as equals, wearing the same simple garments, performing the same rituals. It's a powerful reminder of our shared humanity, of the brotherhood and sisterhood that transcends all boundaries.
It's a beautiful image.
It is.
A glimpse of what's possible when we shed our differences and come together in a spirit of unity and love.
Yes.
But I can't help but wonder, with all this emphasis on inner transformation, does al-Ghazali ever address
He does.
The practical aspects of Hajj.
Yes, he dedicates a significant portion of the book to providing detailed legal rulings on various aspects of the pilgrimage. He covers everything from the different types of Hajj to the conditions for its validity to the specific rituals involved.
So he doesn't just focus on the mystical aspects.
No.
He also provides concrete guidance on how to perform Hajj correctly.
Exactly. He doesn't shy away from controversial issues either. For instance, he delves into the permissibility of visiting tombs and shrines, offering a nuanced perspective that considers both the potential benefits and the risks involved.
That's interesting. So he's not just a spiritual guide, but also a legal scholar.
He's both.
Providing practical advice on navigating the complexities of Hajj.
And that's what makes his work so profound. He seamlessly weaves together the legal, the mystical, and the ethical, creating a comprehensive guide for a truly transformative pilgrimage.
I think one of the things that makes al-Ghazali such a compelling writer is his ability to connect with readers on an emotional level. He doesn't just present dry theological concepts.
No.
He uses vivid imagery, metaphors, and anecdotes to bring his teachings to life.
Absolutely. He's a master storyteller. He understands the power of narrative to engage the heart and mind, to make abstract concepts relatable and memorable.
I'm thinking of that story he shares about the pilgrim who's hesitant to recite the talbiyah, the Hajj invocation, because he fears saying, "Here I am at your service, O God," when his heart isn't truly sincere.
That's a perfect example of al-Ghazali's genius. He uses stories like this not just to illustrate his points, but to inspire readers to reflect on their own lives, to examine their own intentions, and to strive for that same level of sincerity and heart purification.
So The Secrets of Pilgrimage is more than just a guidebook for performing Hajj.
It's a manual for spiritual growth. A roadmap for living a more conscious and meaningful life.
And it's a reminder that the journey doesn't end when we return from Mecca. That's something we carry with us every day, in every interaction, in every thought, word, and deed. You know, it's remarkable how al-Ghazali, writing centuries ago, managed to anticipate many of the challenges we face in our modern world. Or think about our constant distractions. The pressure to present a perfect image on social media. The erosion of genuine connection in a hyper-connected world. Al-Ghazali's emphasis on heart purification. On sincerity. On aligning our inner and outer worlds. Feels more relevant now than ever before.
I couldn't agree more. His teachings offer a powerful antidote to the superficiality and emptiness that can permeate modern life. He reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from external validation, but from cultivating inner peace and a deep connection with the divine.
It's like he's providing a roadmap for navigating the complexities of the 21st century, a guide to living with intention, purpose, and a deep sense of connection to something greater than ourselves.
And that's a message that resonates deeply with people from all walks of life, regardless of their religious beliefs.
So what can we as listeners take away from this deep dive into the secrets of pilgrimage? What practical insights can we glean from al-Ghazali's wisdom and apply to our own lives, even if we're not planning on going on Hajj anytime soon?
That's a great question, and one that I think al-Ghazali himself would have loved to answer, because ultimately he wanted his work to be a catalyst for personal and societal transformation.
So much of what al-Ghazali talks about feels so personal. Like that inner reckoning we all have to face. But he also links this to social change, doesn't he?
Absolutely. He doesn't see spiritual growth as happening in a vacuum. For al-Ghazali, purifying your heart has a ripple effect outwards.
That makes sense. If you're working on things like envy, arrogance, insincerity within yourself, it's bound to impact how you treat others.
Precisely. He saw the Hajj itself as a microcosm of an ideal society where differences melt away and people are united by their devotion to God and their commitment to ethical living.
It makes you think about how often our own societies struggle with these exact issues. Division, inequality, a lack of empathy. Could al-Ghazali's teachings offer some guidance there?
I think they absolutely could. He reminds us that social change starts with individual transformation. It's about cultivating those qualities of compassion, generosity, and justice within ourselves first.
And then letting those qualities radiate outwards.
Exactly.
Into our interactions with others, our communities, even the way we engage with the world at large.
Exactly. He wasn't naive about the challenges, of course. Right. He knew that change doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
But he believed that by consistently striving to purify our hearts, we could create a more just and harmonious world.
It's a powerful vision.
Yeah.
And one that feels both urgent and incredibly hopeful. So for our listeners who are feeling inspired, who want to take some concrete steps towards embodying al-Ghazali's teachings, where would you suggest they start?
I think the first step is cultivating awareness. Pay attention to those moments when negative qualities like envy, arrogance, or hypocrisy creep into your thoughts and actions. Don't judge yourself, just observe.
That's so important. Not getting caught up in self-criticism, but just becoming more aware of our inner landscape.
Yes.
What would be the next step?
Start small. Choose one area of your life where you want to practice greater intentionality and sincerity. Maybe it's your daily prayers or your interactions with family members or even the way you use social media. Focus on bringing awareness and presence to those moments.
It's like what we were talking about earlier with prayer.
Exactly.
It's not about mindless repetition.
Yes.
But about cultivating those inner realities that al-Ghazali describes.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. There will be setbacks, moments of frustration.
Right.
Be patient with yourself. The key is to keep returning to that intention, to that desire for purification.
I love that. Keeping the intention alive, even when we stumble.
Yes.
And what about those who might say, this all sounds great, but I'm not Muslim? Do al-Ghazali's teachings really apply to me?
I think there's a universality to his message that transcends any particular religion or belief system. At its core, it's about the human quest for meaning, for purpose, for connection with something greater than ourselves. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes not from external achievements, but from cultivating inner peace and living in alignment with our values.
So it's about those fundamental human questions
that
we all grapple with, regardless of our background.
And I think al-Ghazali offers a powerful framework for approaching those questions, for living a more conscious, meaningful life. He reminds us that the journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth is one that we can all embark on no matter where we are on our paths.
This has been such a rich and insightful conversation.
It has.
I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of not just al-Ghazali's work, but also the deeper meaning behind practices like prayer, charity, and fasting.
Absolutely.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
The idea that even writings from centuries ago can still offer guidance and inspiration for our modern lives.
And a reminder that the journey of heart purification, the pilgrimage of the soul, is one that we can all undertake.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the secrets of pilgrimage.
Yes.
I hope you found it as thought-provoking and enriching as we did.
Absolutely.
Until next time, may you find peace and meaning in your own unique pilgrimage.